Hi, I'm Dick Wagner. Welcome to the Crest Network video series. Today, we're going to talk about the 6 most disruptive sales emotions that the typical salesperson experiences in their sales world. And if I can get this slide to move, it's said in the sales world, it's said that in sales, whoever exerts the greatest amount of emotional control is most likely to get what they want. If you think about what that's really saying, the salesperson that has it together, the salesperson that isn't bothered by or flummoxed or flustered by emotions when someone, a prospect or a client, throws them a curveball or even says something to them that really aggravates them. If you can control that emotion, you will most likely be the winner in the sales process. When customers strategically try to throw the monkey wrench at you and keep you defensive and off your game, the fact is they are in control. And you can't just blindly put on rose-colored glasses and just go along happy-go-lucky, supporting your own false and delusional view. So many salespeople today, in fact, by experts, not from me, but by those experts at a very, very high level, have said that 80 to 90% of salespeople function in a delusional view or by looking through rose-colored glasses. In other words, they're constantly misleading themselves. They're constantly telling them, oh, I'll do better on the next one. Oh, I'm going to make that sales call next week. And boy, I'm really going to get to it next week. And oh boy, that customer was really, really interested in what I have to offer because they talked and talked and talked and talked. That's being delusional. You have rose-colored glasses on because you're not being truthful with yourself. And when you're not being truthful with yourself, you're hurting yourself. So, what are these 6 disruptive emotions? Number 1, fear. What are the fears that a salesman experiences? Well, the simplest way to answer that is to say almost all salespeople, and once again, after all those intense surveys, organizations have found that the very high top fears are, and I have 6 of them here, but the number 1 fear is the fear of rejection. We don't ask a girl on a date because we're fearful of being told no. We don't ask a customer for an appointment for fear of being told no. We don't ask them to schedule the next call or the next visit for fear that they won't give us the answer we want to hear. So that just simply boils down to the fear of rejection. It is, in fact, the root cause of almost all sales failures. It makes you hesitate. It makes you not want to do the prospecting that you need to do in order to fill the funnel, fill that pipeline. It also stops you from asking for the sale. And to be even more specific, that fear stops you from asking any tough question. The fact is, you have to ask tough questions in order to move the sale along. And so if you have a great fear of asking tough questions or asking for the sale, you're in trouble. The sales role you're in might not be for you. Number 2, second in the list, desperation. Most salespeople, and it isn't as high as 85 or 90%, but it's still pretty high. It's upwards, it's above 50% of those sales and marketing people that are out there day in and day out, especially if their boss has put some pressure on them. They tend to act needy. They tend to act weak. They will often do illogical moves or decisions. They'll make poor decisions. And that desperation makes a salesperson unlikable and, in effect, unattractive. And when that happens, it's like a death spiral. The more you are unlikable, the more desperate you become, which makes you even more unlikable. And that's a horrible whirlpool to be sucked down into. Number 3 is insecurity. So many salespeople out there, even though they don't readily admit it, and when I'm coaching salespeople, I don't always see the insecurity because they're putting on a big bluster for me. They're maybe tending to show off, or they're wearing their rose-colored glasses, trying to fool even me while they're fooling themselves. But often salespeople deal with insecurity. They feel alone. They feel like they're the only ones out there getting rejected, getting kicked in the teeth constantly. I have had on occasion a sales or marketing person tell me, geez, I feel like I'm walking around with a kick me sign on my back. Yeah, it can happen. You can feel that way. You have to get out of that feeling of insecurity. You can't feel like rejection is around the corner, even though, yeah, I hate to say it, rejection is around the corner. Rejection is constantly in front of you every day as a salesperson or a marketer. And that can easily make you gun shy. Salespeople want, salespeople need significance. They want to feel accepted. They tend to talk too much. That's a classic sign of not just needing significance, but salespeople or marketers that talk and talk and talk and talk and don't let the client or the prospect get a word in edgewise. The reason they do that is they don't have confidence. They're just nervous. They're scared. They don't know their product. They don't know their client. They have not done their research. They haven't done their homework. They haven't learned the vertical industry that they're marketing in. They haven't really maybe learned the restoration or the roofing industry that they're in. They don't know all the answers. They have not put themselves into a position of being a subject matter expert. They simply don't know what they're talking about an awful lot of the time. When you see that happening, the dead giveaway is the salesman or the marketer is talking way, way, way too much. And sometimes it goes so far off the rails, it goes so out of control that it destroys the sale or the potential sale. Eagerness, focusing on pleasing others. Oh my goodness, there are so many marketers that I've worked with over the years that seemed like they spent their whole day doing everything they could to please the agent or the plumber or the property manager, with just doing and doing and doing something for them, trying to please them. And they sincerely believed, back to the rose-colored glasses, they sincerely believed that by pleasing others, they are winning that prospect over. They are increasing their chances of that person liking them and buying from them. The problem is that when you spend all your time pleasing others, you lose sight of what your sales objective really is. There is nothing wrong with having the sales objective be, I want to make a sale. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying to your customer or your prospect or your client, I really want you to buy from me. I want to do business with you. I hope you want to do business with me. That's not losing sight of your sales objective. But when you spend all your time pleasing others, that kind of gets shoved on the back burner. Too often, because you are focused on pleasing other people, your prospects and your clients, you just simply give in too quickly and you give up too much too soon. And that's not a good persona to have as a sales and marketing person. It really ends up being the shortest path to becoming a buyer's puppet. And you should always be in the driver's seat. You should be in control. So don't be so eager that you just simply become the buyer's puppet. And last in that list of negative or poor emotions is worry. Yeah, do we all worry? Of course we do. We worry about things from, am I being a good mother? Am I being a good dad? Am I being a good employee? Am I being a good salespeople? Unfortunately, when we worry and we let that get the best of us, our brain ends up focusing only on the negative. And it's a very dangerous emotion because you all know, we all know, I know of people that constantly live and breathe the world of negative. Don't live in the world of negative. My wife and I deliberately do not spend much time, any more than we have to, with people that are negative, because we're not going to be brought down to their level of negativism. We are so vulnerable when someone is negative, you spend time around them, you don't remain above the fray. You don't stay positive very easily. It's very easy to get pulled in to that world of negative. Don't spend time in that world. Don't think about what can go wrong. I don't mean don't be aware, don't be non-educated, don't be knowledgeable. but don't dwell on it. The problem with worry is that it usually triggers a fight or flight response. Fight or flight evolves or comes from early man who either had to stand his ground and fight, the woolly mammoth or the tiger or another warring neighbor, or they had to choose the other alternative, which is flight. Get the heck out of there and get out of there fast. So worry forces and creates, it triggers that fight or flight attitude. Don't be vulnerable to that. Worry causes paralysis about moving toward the future. It easily can drag you down like a whirlpool. If any of you have ever been to Niagara Falls and have observed that incredible whirlpool down in the water, it's if you think about it while you're there looking at it, it gives you the chills. It makes the hair in your neck or your arms stand up because it's kind of scary. If you think about, oh my gosh, what would it be like to be in a small boat and get caught up in that whirlpool? You are literally sucked down under the water and you drown. Don't let worry take you to that level. Folks, when you learn how to manage your disruptive emotions, you gain the power to influence the emotions of others, and that includes the selling process. I hope this was helpful. Folks, thanks for listening. I'm Dick Wagner. You've been watching the Crest Network. We've got a lot more videos on the website for you, and we've got a whole lot more of them that will be added soon. Bye-bye.